It's been a while since we've done this, guys. Alright. Well, everybody, thank you for coming in to Terminus Tuesdays. My name is Exiled. I am the leader of the guild Terminus, and with me today we have Ghost Kali, who is actually one of my officers, and Necrotech, who is one of our members as well. If anybody's actually ever been to Terminus Tuesdays back in the past and everything, you guys know exactly what we're about and everything, what we talk about, things that we do and everything, so you know what to expect on here. Anybody that's new, if you're looking forward to anything that's pretty much related to WildStar, we're pretty much going to go over it. So, is the stream frozen or something?
It's working.
It's working? Okay. I don't know, what's going on? It's weird on my screen and everything.
I think.
Is everybody
For me,
looking
it
good?
looks like you're doing the robot.
Is it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that and everything. I'll have to take a look at that later. Anyway,
Either you're losing frames or I'm just getting really bad reception.
I have no idea. Yes, I am dropping frames. Awesome. It's a little
Dropping
laggy.
them like it's hot.
I'll have to look into that later. You know what, let's see. As I said before, though, guys, this message is actually, this stream tonight is actually just kind of like a test run for us to get back into the swing of things. Next week will be our actual launch, where we start talking about everything that pretty much went over. So we'll be talking about a few things tonight and everything. Tonight's stream won't be too long. It'll probably be maybe 30 minutes or so. We're gonna go over some of the stuff basically that we heard about in the stream, in the WildStar stream that they did earlier about the Warrior, which was extremely
Awesome.
yeah, it was extremely awesome. It really was. They went over a lot of information on there. One of the key things that we really saw in there was pretty much all the abilities that you get. A lot of the stuff that you get as a warrior, a lot of things, and they definitely showed that that being a warrior doesn't mean you're going to be gimped in PvP or anything like that. They gave them a lot of gap closing abilities. So in case y'all didn't see that, make sure you go check out the link on there. I'm sure somebody can get that link for y'all. And go check out that stream on there if you missed it. Basically, so today we'll probably just talk about some PvE on this one. What kind of things, like Ghost? What kind of things are you looking forward to for like PvE and things like that?
Well, for PvP, the biggest thing I'm interested in is war plots.
I said PvE.
I know you said PvE, but the only thing that popped in my head was war plots right then and there.
Oh, okay, thanks. That really helps. Anyway,
Smooth, bro.
What's on your mind? War plots.
well, and the thing that I still really think is a very unique that I never heard about is even war plots is being tied into the PvE, because your raiders and your PvPers are going to be working together. So you're going to have your PvP team. You're going to have your PvP team going in there defending your war plot, going ham on these other war plots and everything, and you're gonna have your raiders going into these boss fights with the sole intention of trying to capture these raid bosses so that they can put them on the war plot, so that it makes it that much harder for the other team to destroy our war plot when we get it up and running. So I mean, that was extremely, when I heard about that, it was just like I was blown away. Obviously, I'm pretty sure they're gonna dumb down some of the abilities so it's not ridiculously hard to kill them, because I mean, if you had full raid on abilities on a war plot while you're still trying to do a 40-man PvP fight, there's no way in hell you're ever gonna survive. So it's gonna be pretty intense those first few times. Necro, what are you looking forward to on that?
Hoverboards.
Hoverboards, yeah, gotta love those hoverboards.
For anyone who hasn't seen that, you need to look it up, because hoverboards kick ass. But more on the point, odds are with the Warplot PvE bosses, they're just going to be giant meat puppets. They're not going to have a lot of mechanics, because if they did, that's just going to get real stupid, and everyone who does them is not going to like it. But from what I saw in the Warrior class, they kind of dismissed a lot of myths we had about the warrior, which was, oh, they're a melee class, they're gonna get their shit kited because it's all there's no tab targeting anymore. But with the amount of mobility and charges, and apparently there was a talent that lets you charge more often. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna have an issue that lets them get close to squishy range targets. But I want to see raid content. That's what I want to see. They said they were going to release a video of like the Datascape raid, but I haven't seen it yet. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I want to see raids.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it myself too. The raids are definitely the only thing that I really look forward to whenever I do them. Mainly because that's all I ever am good at. If I try to do PvP, I get owned. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I get pretty. I don't know if you guys have ever heard me, like when we were doing in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Maybe Ghost might have heard me a few times when I tried to do PvP with the guys, and I rage pretty hard when I PvP because I'm not good, and I hate losing. And so when I lose, even though I'm not good, when I lose, I'm sitting over here still yelling like, "Why are we doing this? Why can't you do it in the right way?" And so yeah, it gets pretty intense for me, so that's why I don't really do it anymore that much. I'll still do it to have fun here and there. I don't think PvPers are going to be forced to raid. I think that's where it comes into the whole, because I'm assuming you're talking about the part where I said that the raiders and the raiders will be going in to capture bosses so that they can put them on the war plots. I mean, with the size of the guilds that we're looking to have and everything, we're gonna be able to have two separate areas. One for people that want to raid and one that want to do PvP. So I don't think it's gonna be a problem with that.
Like, odds are they're just gonna. If you remember Alterac Valley, you could summon that giant stone elemental thing. It didn't really do anything, but it was a real pain in the ass if it ever got to your base, and all it was just something with a lot of attack and a crap ton of health. So it's just going to be, it might have one mechanic, but I highly doubt you're going to have to do raid mechanics in PvP. It'll just be, oh shit, raid boss, everyone better start ganking that thing, and that's the opening the other team needs to get a drop on their base.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just a lot of things on there and everything. And then next week we have the Esper coming up, which I'm sure a lot of our members are looking forward to, because I know we had a lot of people that were going to be playing Espers, both for the range DPS and the healing. So it'll be interesting to see all the stuff that they're going to have included on there. Obviously, the big things that we're really waiting for is those last two classes to be revealed, which for the most part, I think if I remember correctly, they said in a stream one of the devs accidentally let loose one of the classes, which I think was oh god, was it the engineer? Maybe I want to say it was the engineer, and they accidentally let that loose, and so pretty much everybody has been confirming that that the last class, or one of the last two classes, is the engineer class. Which, if you look at one of the silhouettes on the main page on there, I mean, you can pretty much see that it looks pretty much exactly what it's going to be is that. So it's going to be interesting to see those new classes on there. I think they said that the Spellslingers and the Espers are going to be healers as well, right? And honestly, I'm thinking that may change, because having already two classes that heal, I think, is enough. If they add in another class, which they're saying the medic, obviously based on the name alone, should tell you it's going to be a medic class on there. Based on the name alone, it would add another healing class on there, and I really don't think a game needs that many healing classes. I mean, look at World of Warcraft. It has druids, paladins, priests, shamans, yeah, and now monks that have 5 healing classes. Like, what's the point in having so many healing classes? Yeah, it's nice to have that many and everything, because you can have an off spec for healing, and then your main spec can be like DPS or whatever else the other thing is, or paladin and druid cases tanking. But I mean, there's really no, there's just no, I don't see a point to having that many. Make a pure DPS classes, or make pure, not pure tank because then people will feel like they're getting stuck into one class that they don't want to be in. But it's just I think it needs to be a little bit. It needs to be. I don't know, kind of. You get what I'm saying? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not necessarily. If you played WoW way back, each class used to have kind of a specific function it filled. Resto druids were good at raid healing, paladins were good at like main tank healing when I played, and priests were good at spot healing. Having multiple classes that are good at one particular dynamic is better than just having the same class doing everything, and then there's really no reason to have one class or the other. I kind of miss having classes where you would make a decision not based on, oh, they do the most DPS, but, oh, I enjoy this particular ability, the guild I'm in kind of needs this particular ability, and you can fulfill a specific role, rather than, well, it's a healing class, that's all we need. Because I remember we'd always have to make, we need a resto druid and a resto shaman and then this and then that. And yeah, it created longer raids, but it also created a much more interesting atmosphere where it didn't come down to DPS anymore. It came down to people knowing how to do their craft. DPS was kind of an afterthought.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that. Wow, I am losing frames like crazy right now.
Yeah, you're dropping.
Is it?
Left and right.
Yeah, is it choppy right
Like
now?
it's like
to you
you're
guys?
it's like you're in a still picture to me.
A still picture?
You look like you're the thinker from that statue.
I think what I need to do is turn down the resolution on
You
there.
need to turn down your not even your resolution. Turn down your crap. What was it?
Frame rate?
Something like that. It's at 30, isn't it? It shouldn't be any higher
No,
than
it's
that.
at 25. Just because for stuff like this it doesn't really need to be at 30. Anyway, so, but yeah, I think that overall though, I think a lot of us, I think right now a lot of us are just really waiting for beta. I think a good handful of us got that survey, and that survey supposedly is supposed to be a precursor letting us know that we're all going to get into the beta. And with the connections that we've been trying to build up and everything like that, hopefully that'll actually help us get in there. So I have been seeing on Reddit that they have started sending out beta invites already. So
Somebody came in the stream yesterday when I was streaming and told me that another stream had beta keys they were giving away.
Really?
So I was like, what?
Alright, that is killer. It's dropped. What is that?
The thing I saw with it, though, is that they said they were handing them out to all beta testers, meaning everyone who signed up would receive this survey, and they just posted the survey on a Twitter page, meaning I don't know if it holds as much value as you think it does, because it was publicly open that you could, and it was based on your IP address, because I was able to sign up twice. My one account, because I have two, because I signed up before at Legend Gaming, so I wanted another one to affiliate myself with.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I did from my house, which was the Legend Gaming one, and then I tried to do it again, and it says you can't do it. I went to my work, did it there, and it's based by IP address, so if you've done it once from a certain, probably external IP, you won't be able to do it again, but it's publicly open, so
So what I would do is just like do it on one of your home computers, then do it on another computer. If you have another computer at your house or something like that, and then just do it on your cell phones. Sign up as many ways as you possibly can.
That would be good, but odds are they have a way of filtering that, because they don't want people who just sit there frickin' going to their public libraries, filling out beta addresses on all the computers, getting in. It's good dedication, just that's kind of cheating the system.
Yeah, and then they had that one guy who, they were like, he sent in like 500 beta applications. Like, who has time to send in 500 beta applications?
One
Don't
really,
call us,
really
we'll
dedicated
call you.
antisocial.
Yeah, right? But yeah,
hopefully the guild gets in.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it and everything. Ghost, what are you most excited for the game?
gosh, that's a tough question.
Is it really?
Not really. The whole thing.
Right?
Is that the answer you're looking for?
Right? No, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, myself, I'm looking forward, I'm looking forward to the entire thing.
I want to see the 2 new classes. That's what I want to see, because I'm kind of interested in what they're going to do.
I think, here's my prediction with it, and this is just what I'm thinking is gonna happen. We're getting the last 2 classes finally, after months and months of waiting. We're gonna get the last 2 classes revealed. I want to say
I'm hoping they're in the beta.
Well, I want to say late December. Between late December and early February is going to be open beta, with like a launch no later than mid to late March. Because they said that they were going to do it first quarter, and that gives them to the end of March to launch the game. So definitely.
I'm thinking these 2 new classes are going to be in this next closed beta, which is why they're revealing them in video.
Well, yeah, obviously, yeah. Yeah, so they're going to have to do the closed beta and everything, and I think that's why people are they're probably getting the beta invites right now, but they're not being allowed to actually play the game yet. So they're probably just sending out all these beta keys, telling them, alright, you're going to register here and everything, and then they're like, come to the forums here, and the forums will tell you when you're going to start, and the forums are probably like, alright, we're going to start officially on this day or something like that, and even then, I don't know if their beta has started doing continuous testing on there, because I know that up until now their betas have all been at certain times, like Friday through Sunday. You have from this time to this time to test out the beta and everything. Well, they need to make sure that their servers are working 24/7, so and make sure that they can handle the load overnight. So I think that probably either in this closed beta or in the open beta, they're going to be doing the continuous testing to test that out, and then hopefully here soon we'll be getting more stress tests on the servers to see if we can increase our the server population, because it's gonna suck to go on there and we only got like 2,000 people on a server, which isn't a whole hell of a lot of people when you have a game that's this big. I mean, they have like 20 something zones, and they said like each one of their zones is, in reference terms to some other posts, roughly the same size, if not bigger than the size of what Barons was in World of Warcraft, and Barons was huge. So, I mean,
well, from my experience, it wasn't too bad.
It wasn't too bad.
Well, you don't want to make a zone too big, because then the zone drags on. You want to give the reason why WoW's leveling so much was they didn't really try and go for a natural transition between zones. It was, here's a new place, it's completely different, hopefully you don't remember it from another area, and it kept things fresh compared to a lot of games where the first zone usually draws you in, and then the next zone is usually either A, a complete desolate wasteland, or B, a desert sand trap, and it's boring.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we don't see any of
I was going to
those.
go into more detail, but then I realized I can't.
Yeah, you're still under NDA right now. You're one of the few people.
Just break it. Come on,
no.
Yeah, no.
Not on stream. But yeah,
come back, send me an email. Oh yeah, hey guys, what? We saw your stream.
So on with the Esper next week, the videos that we've seen from the past and everything, she's always throwing out those damn swords, right? We've seen a few other things and everything that she's done. Like what other kind of abilities do you think she might be doing whenever they do the Esper next week? Like what kind of things do you think we might see?
Well, you remember that one video where it had that golden staff attack, and everybody thought that was like the other class?
Yeah.
That, I believe, was actually an Esper ability, not the medic or whatever you guys think it's going to be.
Yeah, she's kind of like the Green Lantern of the game. Like, she's summoning all this shit and everything using her will and just throwing it at them in the face, so... yeah. Necro, what about you? What kind of things do you think you'll see with the Espers?
I was seriously hoping I'd see a skill where they bend spoons, but in all seriousness, they have that crazy little Esper chakra disc. I was hoping to see a few more things that revolve around using that as a weapon, because so far all I've seen is whipping like great swords and spatulas at people in varying ways. So I was hoping we'd see a few more skills that involve that disc thing they use. And I mean, it's an Esper; they project shit with their mind. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some type of force field skill. I mean, they're supposed to be kind of a support slash DPS kind of class, so I'm assuming they're going to have some interesting defensive capabilities as well when they can project force bubbles with their minds. Or, you know, go shark. That's always a possibility.
Yeah. Well, the bending spoons things, that was interesting because what I would hope, I don't think it's gonna actually be like an ability or anything like that. But maybe like do like an emote or something like that, of where she like sits down or like hovers in the air and then just has the spoons hovering around her and then they just start bending all at the same time. That would be pretty funny to see as like an homage to the Matrix. Back when the Matrix Online was like the huge MMO to play. Definitely huge. It was definitely, from what I'm told, it was a lot of fun playing that game, and I know Zenith played it a lot, so he was definitely looking forward to doing, if they were ever going to do like a sequel to that one. Never came around though. Anyway, so what are you talking about on there?
Sorry, still caught up on the whole war plots, PvE boss type thing.
War plus PvE plus? What do you mean? How is he caught up on that?
Pretty much what he's suggesting is that by adding a PvP or a PvE element to PvP, it's forcing people who want to strictly PvP to do raids to have a bonus, because the bosses could be, they could be the turning moment where both bases are down to the bare minimum and one person spawns a boss that they got, the other side doesn't have it because they PvP, and oh look, boss wipes out the other side. But my answer to it was, what if they added, they have tokens in WoW, how come they can't attain raid bosses or PvP bosses through PvPing?
See, I don't...
That way...
I can understand that and everything, but like they specifically had said, that they were going to have the raiders go in there and capture the bosses so that they could put them on their war plots. So, and honestly, even if they do capture the boss and everything, I don't think it's going to be to the point where, one of these bosses is going to be like a game-changing moment and everything. I think, and it's not going to be something that comes in at the last moment. It's like, oh, we just got to destroy this one thing. And then, after we destroy this one thing, we'll be good to go to be destroyed. And they're like, oh, wait, no, here comes a boss. I think from the beginning, it's going to show the boss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that boss is going to be like a plug-in that you're going to have to actually plug into your war plot, and it's going to take up a plug space that could be holding something else. Like, instead of having a cannon, you now have this raid boss as your plug.
Yeah.
Well,
so
the thing is, even with that, I mean, war plots were supposed to be, or at least what I heard that they added, they weren't supposed to be just a PvP endeavor. They were something they wanted to include both sides of the spectrum in. And
yeah, if you want to strictly PvP, that's all the what the battlegrounds are for and things like that, and the arenas. That's not going to have any PvE elements into it like the war plots will. The war plots is kind of a blend of both.
I mean, there's no way around it. They're trying to add, they're trying to get everyone involved in it. And if a hardcore PvP guild feels that raid bosses are unfair, odds are there's going to be a way that's like a challenge system. Terra had it where it was like you could sit there and yeah, I can hear you.
My bad. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Unexpected visitor in my room.
What was I saying? Pretty much the whole point was trying to get more people to do PvP events and experience content, and they have PvP gear and all that. If a whole bunch of PvEers go into a war plot, oh, well, the PvP gear, there's a game changer. If a whole bunch of PvE people run in there and they don't got a PvP section, but they want to do war plots, now the raid boss is trumped by the fact that the other PvP guild has all the PvP stat gear. Either way, there'll be a way to balance it. And if they're really that anal about it, then stick to arenas. That's probably what they'll do anyway.
You want to shut up, Ghost? It was unexpected. She wasn't supposed to come in here, so she's over here like, I need you to do something. I was like, I'm busy. Anyway,
You need to do the dishes again.
no. So anyway, though, definitely, yeah. So, I completely missed what we were talking about, so I'm gonna pretend like I knew. So yeah, that's a great point, Necro.
Hey, that's how it goes in work, man.
Right? Fake it till you make it, right? No, it's sorry. I wouldn't say that. PvP players shouldn't play the PvP content because it's made for PvE. That doesn't make any sense. PvP players shouldn't play the PvP content because it's made for PvEers. The thing is, though, is that the war plots is specifically made for PvPers. It's a 40-man group on one side against another 40-man group. It's 40 on 40, and it's meant to be separate. But at the same time, they want to try to bring it together in a certain way, so that that instead of going around and saying, "Oh, I have nothing to do. I've already done all my dailies for the week. We've done our raids for the week and everything." It gives you something else to do and be like, okay, maybe you don't have enough members to go do your war plot today, but hey, you can go out and do this dungeon and capture the boss and put him on your war plot. Save it and be like, all right, let's put that on the war plot. And do it that way. That way you have something still be productive for the war plot, even if you can't actually go and fight.
I mean, and also that's another thing with all the PvPers. Once you get your fancy gear and all that, a lot of people get burned out from doing arenas because they farm them hardcore. Well, this gives them an option to give themselves an edge when doing war plots because they could actually, I don't know, go do PvE, like raids and stuff. If they're that strongly against and they strictly play a game for PvP, they're only gimping themselves out of content and the experience of a game. And I mean, I don't do PvP a lot, but I definitely do dabble in it a bit just to take the edge off of raiding because, just doing the same raid over and over grinds on you a bit. You got to mix it up. And that's what they're trying to do, give the other, each side a reason to mix it up rather than always being this split path. You go one way or the other. There is no middle.
Yeah,
That's why I play first-person shooters for the story, not for the PvP.
Yeah. Because I get on the Call of Duty just to be like, oh, I want to go see what happened in the story now. No, I get on there to shoot somebody in the fucking face. Anyway. But yeah, so I think that, overall, we have a lot of good things to look forward to. Well, we still have a lot of unanswered questions that I'm really hoping that we will get answered here soon. One thing we really haven't heard a whole lot about is the PvP, and I know a lot of our members are really looking forward to see how the PvP is going to work, especially because, as they said before, they were worried that the meleeers were going to get kited a lot and everything, which obviously we know the warrior's not going to get kited, but we don't know about the Draken, or the Stalker. I kind of want to see what the Stalker has available to him, if they're going to give him some kind of like Shadow Step-esque type ability, like the Rogue had in World of Warcraft to help close gaps. I'm sure that they'll give him something that they can
There is a dash
slow him down.
for the Stalker.
Yeah, we've seen
It
that.
does about a 30-meter dash, and then it swipes, so that's like the gap closer.
Yeah, we've seen.
Gap closer.
Yeah, but I mean,
heard...
they're talking about like going like max distance on a melee person. So you do that, and you're pretty much going to outrange every melee person. The average range for like a caster is like 40 yards or something. The max range for most melee abilities is going to be 25 max at 30 yards. So if you can get them past that threshold, you've got them by the balls.
Well, which classes are we talking about? Because a lot of
I'm talking about any melee class in general. Like, I mean, we know, because like on the warrior they showed how they have that ability.
I'm talking about range class. Which range classes are you talking about?
Like not the Esper, because they have to. I think they have to be stationary to cast.
Esper's like 15
but like the
meters.
spell slinger, we saw a
stationary.
video. Like for instance, I saw a video with the spell slinger, and when I saw this, I was like, holy fucking shit! It looks amazing. What it is that the Spellslinger does every single one of his abilities on the move. There's not one ability that he was doing that he had to stand still for. Even his casted abilities, he was on the move. So
everything's up.
So here's the thing, Guild Wars had that system as well, where ranged classes could attack on the move. I did a lot of PvP in Guild Wars too, because it was really the only good thing about it. I played as a warrior. I never had an issue getting close to people. They learn to give melee classes a lot of skills that allow them to get to their target and where they need to be. And a lot of my finishers had a wide area, or they allowed me to move like 10 yards ahead, so I didn't need to be directly beside them to deal out some retarded damage. So I found range classes, due to the fact they usually have lower armor racks, had a lot of a disadvantage in that game, and melee kind of took over at times. But I don't see that as a bad thing, because melee's always been one of those things where why go melee when you can dish out the same amount of damage as ranged? So I think they look like they got a handle on things. I think they'll definitely add, every melee class will have some serious gap closers, or at least a way to bring, the warriors got a way to bring the player to them and a way to get to the player. So I think a lot of classes will have similar mechanics, at least in that regard.
Yeah, I think honestly, I don't think we're gonna have much to worry about. WildStar has taken great measures to make sure that the game is as balanced as it can be, and that's why they originally moved from their 2012 launch window to from their 2013 launch window to the 2014 launch window. Over in spring of 2014. So, I definitely think that we are in for a huge treat, and the only reason I believe that WildStar isn't as big as it could be is because it's just not one of those popular IPs. If they were to take WildStar, everything that WildStar is, plug that into the Elder Scrolls Online universe, like it'd blow up. It'd blow up gigantic because of the fan base that they have and everything like that. And their whole thing was that they wanted everybody to know. They wanted everybody to know they wanted to hear about it word of mouth instead of hearing about it like through campaigning or anything like that, because the more money they spend on marketing and all that, that's the less money they have for the development. So they did it right. I honestly believe that they did it right. They've gained so much popularity just from word of mouth. Like, I haven't seen not one commercial, not one ad on any webpage for WildStar, nothing. Everything's been done purely by word of mouth. And I know I myself have gone through Twitter, I've gone through Facebook, spamming the shit out of my feeds, telling people, hey, WildStar, people, take a look at this. All my MMO buddies, take a look at this. You're gonna love it. So, I think it's, I don't want to say, I hate saying WoW killer games and everything, and honestly, there's not anything that's ever going to be able to kill WoW officially, but I think this is going to take a huge chunk out of their current player base, which still seems to be dwindling down more and more. And honestly, I think after WoW completely dies off, WildStar could be the game that people just like, all right, let's go over and play that one now, because it's got more support, because WoW's coming down to their last expansion. They said years and years and years ago that their last expansion was going to be when they hit level cap 100. They just announced that their level cap was 100 on this Warlords of Draenor expansion that they're doing. So, and they're just now bringing in high quality textures and everything like that, and they're increasing all this stuff on there and everything. And it's like, I'm just in my mind, I'm going, it's too little, too late. They should have done all this a long time ago, and they're just not waiting till now to do it. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if anything's going to kill WoW, it's going to be made by people who, used to work on WoW, right?
Right, and that's exactly what WildStar has. They have a ton of developers that used to work on WoW. I think it was one of their PvP designers was working in WoW, and so. They have a lot of things that they can pull from over there. And it seems like what the people at Carbine are doing is that, they really are listening to the people whenever they speak. At the end of their dev speaks, when they're like, the devs are listening, they really are listening. They're listening to everything that we're saying, taking all that feedback in and saying, how can we apply this to the game so that it still fits within what we're looking for, but at the same time everybody's going to be happy, or at least as many people as we can get happy will be happy. A lot of people weren't really happy about the cross realm and everything. I don't see a problem with it. I don't have a problem with cross realm. There's nothing wrong with that. Most people are like, it gives a less sense of community and everything. Who gives a shit? Like, even if it was all just one server and everything, there was no cross realm, no nothing and everything like that, your PvP queues would be stupid long. I remember waiting hours for a damn Alterac Valley PvP pop in World of Warcraft. It was ridiculous. So, and your dungeon finding would be ridiculous if you have specific quests that require you to go into these dungeons and everything to get them done, and you have to sit there and wait 20-30 minutes because you're the only person that's leveling in that area, because let's say the game's like a year and a half down the road. In the mid 30 areas, there's not going to be anybody there because everybody's either going to have already leveled past it, or they're not there yet because they're still too new, or there's not going to be enough people there to be able to do the dungeon that you're looking for. So I think it's great that we're doing cross realm, because it really helps with dungeon finding, not particularly raid. I hate cross find or dungeon finders for raids. That's stupid. Raids are specifically meant for guilds, and that's what it should be. So that was the only problem that I had on there. I don't know, did we ever get in a confirmation if they were doing a cross realm for raids? I don't think so. Were they?
I don't think so. I think it was just for dungeons and content and stuff. Yeah, you could do dungeons together. I think you could queue for battlegrounds together. I'm not positive on that one, but I know you can't quest together, so people can't guest on other servers, which was a massive thing I hated in WoW, because the world PvP just didn't stop, and I can only tolerate that for so long.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, but yeah, I'm gonna cross into any of these other topics and everything until next week. Well, that should pretty much cover it. We'll go ahead and call it here on this one, since it's a makeshift one, because we still got some work to do on the stream and everything, so we can optimize it. Because apparently I am dropping crazy frames right now, like 20%, if not more, of my frames are being dropped. So. Anyway, guys, if y'all have any questions or anything at all, by all means. It's like watching
paint dry.
Yeah, I know, right? If y'all ever have any questions or anything like that, feel free to send me a message. If I don't know if there's anybody that's actually not in the guild on the stream, but inbox me, on Twitch. Send me a message and everything. If you want us to talk about something, send me a message. Everything that we talk about on here and everything is usually just suggestions that are given to us by a lot of different people and everything, especially with the stuff that comes out that's new. So if anything comes up, just let us know. Anyway, so that will pretty much wrap it up for us. I want to thank Ghost Collie and Necrotech for joining me today. Next week, we will be talking about that Esper release that comes out. It's going to be very interesting to see all the stuff that comes out with that. So look forward to that one, and yeah, buddy, it's going to be awesome.